Turn it up, it's the Pancake and Powerslam. Turn it up, it's the Pancake and Powerslam. Turn it up, it's the Pancake and Powerslam show. Turn it up, it's the Pancake and Powerslam. Turn it up, it's the Pancake and Powerslam. Turn it up, it's the Pancake and Powerslam show. Turn it up.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Dr. Chris Featherstone here for another episode of the Pancakes and Powerslams show. Please bear with me. I woke up and I was fine, and I went to work, and man, I excuse me, I got hit like a ton of bricks, man, with just like flu-like symptoms, and yeah, it was horrible. And it's got worse and worse, but it was started with a sore throat, and now the throat's not sore anymore, so that's good. Now it's a cough. I hardly ever get sick, man. This is my first time this year, and it's December, getting sick. I work out 5 days a week, and I guess my immune system is able to fight off sickness, because I don't get sick, man. I used to a lot, but over the past few years, man, I hardly ever get sick. And today today broke the streak to this year. I was hoping that this year I didn't get sick at all, but I did, unfortunately, and I don't feel good. So this episode will be shortened. We're going to go over to the after party and have a short episode there as well. And I'm going to get me some rest for tonight, and I'm going to rest up and immune system up, and I'll be okay. I'll be all right. I just need to get some rest. I do so much. I work so much, and I think my body was just it's just telling me, like, hey, you need to relax. So I'm gonna listen to my body, and I'm going to relax for the next day or so, and I'm gonna do that. So I appreciate everybody bearing with me, and I appreciate everybody on PNP once again having a good time with me. I apologize for the lack of excitement, but the show must go on, and there's no way that I was going to miss an episode of PNP because I'm not feeling good. There's been time, it's funny because there's so many PNP stories over the past, April will be, wow, that's crazy. that time already just came just like that. It's in 4 months. It will be 12 years, 12 years of the Pancakes and Powerslams show. Wow. And I've got so many stories of the past 12 years of, you know, sticking with my guns and having the show. Years ago, I used to have the interviews every week, and there would be times where I would just throw up. Years ago, I would be so sick I would just like throw up, like not too far before the show, and still get to the point where I'm feeling just moving forward and moving on and doing the show and doing my interviews. So I've had so many stories. There was you can see it in one of the archived videos and the multiple sites that I wrote for and did PMP at. But there was one time, y'all, that I was I didn't feel good at all, and I was dozing off on the show. and I never do that. I'm a night owl. I'm up, but I was so sick. This was probably 5-6 years ago, probably. But I was so sick that I was doing my show and I was dozing off because I wasn't feeling well. I needed to go to bed. And it might have been shorter than that, actually. It might have been like 3 or so years ago. 3 or 4 years ago, maybe. And you know, the live crowd was like, go ahead and get you some rest, man. Thank you so much for, you know, still going through and still having PNP. So I really appreciate y'all support, man. Y'all are such an awesome support base. And let's talk about CM Punk, y'all. I'm gonna take some questions, and then I'm gonna get me some rest, man. I'm gonna hop on the after party real quick, take some questions, and then I'm gonna get me some rest, man. So yeah, when I had COVID, yeah, that was back in April of 21, April of 21. That was right before I was supposed to go to Tampa for, it's crazy, that was 2.5 years ago, over 2.5 years ago. But yeah, April of 21. And I was supposed to go the next day. I had paid flight, paid Airbnb, paid tickets for, you know, media tickets for WrestleMania. I was supposed to cover WrestleMania. And yeah, it was like I got COVID the night before I was supposed to fly. I was supposed to fly that morning, end up testing positive for COVID. And so, yeah, and that was really the last real time I was sick, like really, really sick. And yeah, that was over 2.5 years ago. So, and then yeah, that's right, because I jumped on and I did the show and I was still really sick. I got COVID on a Wednesday. I still did PNP on that following Tuesday. And so it was less than a week of having COVID. And the show must go on. I jumped on the show and man, I was out of it. All right. So your thoughts, PNP Nation. CM Punk. Did WWE drop the ball with not having CM Punk on Raw? I say yes. I do think that WWE dropped the ball by not having CM Punk on Raw. I do think that you know, you have CM Punk appear for the first time on WWE television, as far as just their episodic television show, for the first time since January of 2014 was the Royal Rumble thing. And so it was almost 10 years. Incredibly buzzing return, surprising and shocking to many. You have him come on the Raw afterwards, which was good. But then you mark it on Raw that he's going to show up on SmackDown. So either that's a move of our SmackDown numbers is going down, and we need to promote it to raise it up, or it's just a matter of just being arrogant and thinking that you'll be okay numbers wise for Raw. You know what I mean? So, but I do think that they're doing the whole which either both free agents, what side do you go on? Randy Orton chose SmackDown. I do think CM Punk's going to choose Raw. But here's the problem with that, though. First of all, you don't have either of them on your flagship show. And then CM Punk's going to get booed if he chooses Raw on SmackDown over SmackDown. That's not a babyface thing to do. If you're choosing the other brand on the SmackDown show. So those, again, I always say those little nuances matter. So, all right, Joe, let me go through these questions and a few things that you want to get my thoughts on after party. Good stuff. Does working out help your immune system? Yes, absolutely it does. I was so drained today, body wise. I was just drained. I felt so drained. I think I'm gonna get some rest. I mean, if I get some rest, and I'll feel better prayerfully, and my throat feels much better than it did earlier. My body feels better than it did a few hours ago. I did lay down for a little bit. Didn't get much sleep, but I did lay down for a little bit. My wife did a really amazing job taking care of me and giving me some emergency and running a hypervolt on my back, and just being super supportive. So kudos to my wife there. Let's see what else we got. We got an app saying yes, but I kind of don't want to see him too much, but lately WWE is so predictable. Now, I do agree with that as far as not seeing him too much. I agree with that. I do think there's a spectrum between Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. Like we see Seth Rollins ad nauseum, and then we see Roman Reigns, once every 6 months, it seems like. So CM Punk can be the middle person between them, not necessarily appearing every week cutting a promo, but you can always do a video package. You can always do B-roll. You can have him, you can shoot stuff with him outside of the ring. Stuff like that will continue to keep the excitement with CM Punk. And I do think that would be good to do, because you don't want to have a Raw who's already struggling in numbers, not bring your moneymakers in, for the week. So Punk is going to be on SmackDown, so having both on Raw and SmackDown would be overkill, I think. Orton's on SmackDown, so he chose to be on SmackDown too. So it would be both on SmackDown if Punk goes to SmackDown, which would be horrible. You need some help on Raw more. The old line creative didn't have anything for me. Yeah, precisely. Yeah. I was saying WWE really needs to change their way of booking. If fans can get info from dirty sheets, dirt sheets, but dirty sheets sounds fun, even funner. And online, because we already know who Punk is feuding with already. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I would even, if I was a part of the committee, as far as writing committee, I would look at the dirt sheets based on, some of the rumors, and I would do completely opposite. Like my goal would be to, make sure that a lot of the reporters just don't just have a very unsuccessful reporting. I do think that something like that would be really funny with the dirt sheets. and doing something completely opposite to what's been reported would be very, very funny. I'm in Punk showing up on both shows this week, and it's too much in my opinion. I don't think he needs to show up on SmackDown. There's always been dirt sheets. Yeah, I mean, of course, there's always been dirt sheets. Well, there's been dirt sheets. PWTorch started in the late 80s, I think. And they were more of columns, wrestling columns and interviews and stuff. And then probably like late 90s is when dirt sheets really started to like grow. And then 2000s, it got very swelled up. So, yeah. All right. I was saying, what happened to free agents? Why are they signing guys now? Yeah, fair. That's a good point. Yeah, that once again it makes the draft look like pointless. So, all right, y'all. I'm gonna get some rest, and I'm gonna hop over to the after party. See if there's any more questions real quick for the next couple minutes, and I'm going to get some rest. People don't have to read dirt sheets. They aren't forced to read them, so they're spoiling things for themselves. That's true, but at the same time, if the dirt sheet is there and it's basically in your face as looking at wrestling, like you can look at a wrestling site and want to see an interview or want to see some news, you know what I mean? Like stuff like that. But if there's a headline there that has dirt sheet, topic, it's kind of like, the forbidden fruit effect. It's like, what you don't have, you kind of desire to grasp. And so psychologically, it's hard to bring dirt sheet headlines. I mean, that's the whole point of media. Media has been going on for decades, and that happens all the time in media. So, all right, y'all. Let's see if we got any more comments from the PNP Nation. And I am going to get some. Yes, people's wrestling channels. WWE most definitely isn't predictable. No one thought Punk was coming back. I disagree with that. Yes. I mean, you can have a moment of unpredictability every now and then, but that doesn't change, someone from, being predictable. I do think for the most part, I mean, we see predictable matches all the time on Raw. And the funny thing about that is Vince Russo and I, we actually, on our Legion of Raw show, there's been several weeks that we have predicted the match for the following week repeatedly, and we were right. So, yeah, that's one of those things that it gets really difficult to not say that they're predictable because of that stuff. Yeah, I agree that not always predictable, but I mean, you have Punk come back for the first time in 11 years. So, 10 years, almost 10 years. Rollins says, I agree that a better product requires a face WWE champ, but it doesn't seem necessary for a lot of money. Hogan and Austin is WWF champion. We need it for both. I agree. I agree with that. I think now, because the landscape has changed, as far as exposure of WWE is a publicly traded organization. It's been that for over 20 years now. Endeavor bought them for $9 billion, so you have more exposure there. And then here's the thing: I've been a part of those quarterly meetings, media meetings, and I've heard Triple H talk, and I've been a part of that, and there's always that there's always that we're going, we've done so well, we're doing record numbers. However, when it comes to meetings with their shareholders, I mean, it's easy for WWE to market the success of their company by holding it, by presenting the old guard. You know what I mean? Like, say for instance, if they're, there's talks about, I even heard Warner Brothers, there's so many rumors flying around here. People are saying even Warner Brothers potentially, having something, having a discussion or having an interest of getting Raw. And it's so easy for, maybe not, well, I would even say from an AEW standpoint, it's like, when you're thinking of business, you're going to promote your biggest stars. I mean, that's the pitch. That's the pitch as far as getting a sports contract. That's the pitch. And, it's easy to say, we're all Elite Wrestling. We have, the biggest stars in professional wrestling, the likes of Sting, the likes of Ric Flair, the likes of Adam Copeland at that time. They wouldn't say Edge, but Adam Copeland, formerly known as Edge. And with the WWE, when they're pitching, they can do the same thing. It's the WWE with the biggest stars like The Undertaker and Stone Cold Steve Austin and Hulk Hogan, and so they're still using the old guard to present themselves to their shareholders and to companies when they're trying to get big money deals. So, all right, I have a cough drop in my hand and my mouth. Matthew put hashtag AxeDoc. Hashtag AxeDoc real quick, y'all. Wrestling to me reminds me of a bad football team owner that's happy with going 8-8 as long as tickets and merchandise are up. Very nice. I agree with that. Good analogy. Would Warner Brothers showing Raw on the network be big for WWE? Yeah, I mean, with TNT, and so I do think it'll be big. So let me address Jericho coming back to WWE. I think Jericho would come back to WWE. I do think. I mean, he was in WWE for so long, and so yeah, I think he would. All right, y'all. I'm gonna get up out of here, man. I'll give you the WWE product would be a lot more intriguing with the lineal WWE champion on TV every week a month. Absolutely. I mean, that's what brought you to the dance. Why take away that element if that brought you to the dance? That's the pitch. That brings you to the dance. It's the episodic television, show. So, all right, y'all. I need to get some rest. Again, I feel horrible. Thank y'all so much for bearing with me today, and I'm gonna get better. I'm gonna get some rest, and I'm gonna hop on the after party real quick. I mean, super short. Anybody has some really, really cool questions for me, man, I'm gonna hop over there for my Patreons, patreon.com/Pancakes and Powerslams, and I'm gonna get me some rest, y'all. I gotta get into bed because I don't feel well, but prayerfully by the time next week comes, I'll be all right, and I'll be all chipper. So thank you so much for bearing with me this week. Thank you so much for still being super involved as we do every single week on PNP. You guys are so awesome. Until next week, everybody, enjoy your week of wrestling. God bless. And always remember, I do it for you. Have a good night, everybody. So